Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this Facebook Live. We'll talk about the weather and your latest news headlines in just a moment. But first, a reminder, you can join us every morning for our Facebook Live about 8 o'clock. And then you can find us the rest of the day on your Facebook feed. It stays up there all day long. Also, look for us on our Inform YouTube channel and your favorite podcast platform. Just go to inform.com/podcast and look for the Inform Minute. All right, Lydia, what are we looking at today?
All right, mostly cloudy skies. This morning, wherever pockets of clear sky are happening, we're watching out for areas of fog. We melted a lot of snow yesterday.
Did. It was nice out.
It was nice out. We had the sun. It was 39 degrees, ended up being the high temp here in Fargo. It looked a lot nicer outside than it felt, but the sun was really nice.
Yeah, it was.
And it chipped away a lot of that snow. There's just a couple spots left in my yard that has snow. Anywhere that was kind of shaded yesterday still has some snow. Anyways, with all that snow melting, that puts water vapor into the atmosphere. It's just kind of been hanging out there all night long with a very light wind. That's going to allow some of that fog to form. But fog loves a clear sky, and we didn't have a perfectly clear sky. If we would have been cloudless this morning, I probably would have had a dense fog advisory. We'd be talking about dangerous driving conditions. But the cloud cover has kind of stopped that fog from turning too thick. Now, there is still fog out there because it's possible to get it under cloud cover. I just think it would have been worse if we would have had a clear sky. So watch out for maybe a spare pocket of fog this morning. That'll last the next couple of hours. Wind turns to the south-southwest today, 5 to 15, not crazy windy. Pushes in some warmer air because it's out of that direction. And temps get into the 30s to near 40 today. Forecasting 40 for Fargo.
You can live with that.
Yeah, even though it won't be as sunny as yesterday, 40 will obviously melt snow. It's above the freezing point. So it'd melt faster if we had sun. It won't be totally gray. We'll still have peaks of sun, but more clouds compared to the sunshine. So near 40 today. We'll thicken up the cloud cover a little bit more tomorrow. That'll keep us in the upper 30s. And add in maybe a flurry or a sprinkle or a pocket of drizzle. I'd say no impact with that. If you're headed out, if you're hitting the road for the weekend, your travel plans should be fine for Friday. Saturday, not bad, 43, mostly cloudy once again, some peaks of sun. We'll start tracking a system by Sunday. So it's going to drop down out of Canada. It looks to be a clipper system. That's what we had earlier this week with a big clipper back on Monday. It's too soon for any kind of snow forecast, though. That's the problem. If you're starting to see those out on the interweb, ignore it at this point. It's too soon. I have two models that I typically look at for these kinds of systems this many days out. One of them puts it all rain. And one of them hits us with heavy snow.
Oh, perfect.
So, great. Yeah. No model consensus yet on this. I would say we start off with rain, maybe a rain-snow mix on Sunday, switch over to snow as temperatures drop Sunday night into Monday. Just an early heads up, might be a slushy, sloppy, kind of snowy commute on Monday morning. Might need a little extra time, but we'll bring you a snow forecast when it's responsible to do so, obviously. So watching out for that. That's going to be your next best chance for accumulating snow. Maybe keep an eye on that. If we do switch over to snow sooner and you're out of town, you're headed back to the area on Sunday, we might have to watch out for that. But for the most part, with temps in the low 40s on Sunday, it'll probably just be rain at that point. We'll keep our eyes on it. Next week, lots of 30s for highs. So we do kind of drop back down into the 30s for next week. Very November-like forecast.
Feels about like it's what it's supposed to be, I guess.
Right on cue. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you. All right, let's dive into our local headlines then this morning. Big story this morning. One person is dead after a rollover accident in rural North Dakota. According to the Highway Patrol, the crash happened just after midnight, about 8 miles west of Reynolds, North Dakota. If you don't know where that is, it's kind of between Fargo and Grand Forks, west of I-29. The car was headed down a county road, a highway. That road ends. So once that road ended, the car kept going, went off the road, rolled over. The driver died from their injuries. That crash is still under investigation. A big announcement came from President Joe Biden while visiting a Minnesota farm. He announced a $5 billion boost to help the rural economy and farmlands across the country. That money is going to be broken up into 5 different sections. $2 billion will be used to create jobs and support economic development in rural communities. $1.7 billion will go towards climate-smart agriculture. Another $1.1 billion is being used for rural infrastructure. Another $274 million designated to expand high-speed internet. And then finally, $145 million going towards the expansion of renewable energy and lowering energy costs. Today, the Minnesota Supreme Court will begin hearing oral arguments in a case that's seeking to bar former President Donald Trump from having his name on the state's election ballot. That case was filed in September by a nonprofit political group called Free Speech for the People. The lawsuit aims to keep Trump's name off of Minnesota's ballot in 2024 due to his actions with January 6th at the U.S. Capitol. The lawsuit claims that Trump violated the 14th Amendment, which would bar leaders from holding government office without congressional approval. The argument is that Trump engaged in insurrection in an attempt to stop Congress from certifying his election loss. There's also a similar case going on in Colorado right now for the exact same reasons. That case is expected to wrap up tomorrow. This morning, the North Dakota BCI has notified the West Fargo School District of new allegations about a former principal who is already in jail. They're connected to another West Fargo student. David George is in jail right now. He's accused of sexually abusing a child and having child pornography. When he was arrested in August, George told police about multiple incidents involving inappropriate sexual touching during the summer of 2022 when one boy was less than 10 years old. Those new charges have not yet been filed in Cass County as of this morning, but we will keep checking on the court documents. George is expected back in court November 16th. Okay, with all this changing weather we're having, more snow, that means winter parking restrictions are now in place in Fargo, specifically downtown. There are some signs posted with those restrictions, but here's a rundown for you. Nighttime parking restrictions enforced 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. Alternate days for avenues and streets, Monday through Friday. The city of Fargo says that they will enforce these policies, so just make sure you're paying attention. They'll hand out tickets and even tow your car if you're in violation. So keep that in mind throughout the winter months. All right, starting this morning, a local animal shelter is holding its 15th annual silent auction. It's all to help rescue dogs here in the area. For Love of Dog Rescue, hosting that 3-day silent auction. Online bidding started at 8 o'clock this morning, so get out there, do some bidding online. It's going to last until 9 o'clock Saturday night. Also on Saturday, you can go to the Holiday Inn in Fargo from 5 to 9 to check out the items in person. All the proceeds go to help out For Love of Dog Rescue, which they've already rehomed more than 6,000 dogs. Also, this morning, the local YWCA is celebrating an opening of a new apartment building called Lantern Light. It's along 32nd Avenue South, just southeast of their emergency shelter. The $8 million project will house 60 people who are survivors of domestic violence and homelessness. Those who live there will also have support to address trauma and have the resources needed to get education and employment opportunities. All right, Hot Mike, a new season of NDSU Wrestling is here, and with it, a new coach. I'm going to meet the man who is taking over the Bison program. Plus, Shanley is just 2 wins away from back-to-back state titles. How the Deacons have dealt with being the favorites all season long. Hot Mike is live with Dom Izzo from 9 to 11 on WDAY Extra and Inforum.com. And don't forget, for 99 cents a month for your first 3 months, you can get an all-access pass to Inforum.com. Just visit Inforum.com/subscribe to get that deal. And remember, join us for the rest of our newscast today. Our next one's at 11 o'clock, then 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. And we're back with First News from 5 to 7 tomorrow morning. Until then, have a great day, everyone.